Coming up on First at 4, our recent heavy rain and big temperature swings cause rock and mudslides across the region. And 3 students are injured in a crash this morning in Magoffin County. Hear how the school is showing its support.
It's been cool and sunny, but that's a nice change. How long will it last? The answer now on First at 4.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, the rain ends, but crews are still dealing with its aftermath. In many parts of the region, mudslides are causing serious traffic concerns. WYMT's Will Puckett has more from Hazard, where a slide still has North Main Street closed.
Crews have started to begin the early stages of cleaning up this mudslide along North Main Street here in Hazard. But early Wednesday morning, it created a traffic nightmare for the many trying to head to work and school. As the wind whistled through Hazard Wednesday morning, officials worked to assess the time it would take to clear debris.
It is a state highway, so the state will be taking care of the cleanup, but we're continuing to try to keep the traffic off the area with their police officers.
Water and mud pouring off the road. Drivers struggling to find a way to make it to work and school on time.
I come through there every day, and that's the way that I have to come to get to downtown. So without coming through there, I have to go all the way on the bypass and back down. So, I mean, it's been a huge hassle for me. The extra traffic on the bypass and ongoing construction on Highway 15 did not help matters. City officials who are not responsible for the cleanup still urge drivers to obey signs and stay patient.
One of those things, we have to put safety as the first priority and just not take any chances with this.
Now, the slide started around 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon, and then by 11, it had covered the entire northbound lane of Main Street. The reason why they couldn't get to it immediately is because it's a state-maintained road, and the state was tending to another rock slide in the county before they can get to this one. In Perry County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
North Main Street is still closed at this time. We'll, of course, let you know when it reopens. Now, a Pike County road is back open after an early morning rock slide. Officials with the Transportation Cabinet say Kentucky 1441 was closed earlier between the US 460 overpass and Kentucky 1789. After recent rainfall and temperatures fluctuating between freezing and mild, the freeze-thaw cycle caused the rocks to fall into the road. Highway Superintendent Josh Blackburn says he and his crew appreciate everyone's patience.
I know sometimes we do hinder your travels, but in doing so, we're really trying to keep you safe.
Again, we just learned moments ago that Kentucky 1441 in Pike County is back open.
Clearing skies and colder temperatures have been the main story for your Wednesday, and now a little bit of sunshine working in here with temperatures in the lower 40s. Let's take it to Buffalo Mountain in Perry County. You'll notice the sun is out. A little bit of those high cirrus clouds at this time, but nothing that's going to be bringing rain tonight and really for your Valentine's Day until you work into the overnight hours Thursday and into your Friday. The state level the same way. A few more thicker clouds work again in the western portion and a decent gradient here set up where it's the upper 40s, lower 50s down in southern Kentucky, Clarksville there in Tennessee at 51, 46 in Hazard, and a few of our locations trying to get to 50. Of course, right now, Jacksboro, Tennessee, the only location at that, but Middlesboro there in Bell County sitting at 48. Of course, tonight will drop down to 33 degrees, cooler to the north, but we will look at a southwesterly wind. I think keep us pretty steady in those upper 20s, lower 30s for tonight. And then, Steve, Valentine's Day looks pretty good. We'll talk about a couple of systems coming in this weekend in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. A 2-car crash in Magoffin County sends 3 students to the hospital. One of those students was flown out. Deputies say one of the cars skidded on black ice and hit the other one. WYMT's Connor James has more.
Yeah, definitely a scary situation. I'm told by the principal here at Magoffin County High School it was a brother and sister duo in one car and one person in the other car. All three had to be taken to the hospital. Officials with the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department telling me it was caused because of icy roads this morning. These are photos from that crash. One of the students, the girl in the car with two people, was flown to the hospital. At the Magoffin County High School, the school's counselor and principal talked with students who knew the three.
It was bad, obviously, but it could have been worse. And so as a school family, we're thankful that it wasn't worse, but we're also pulling together to offer those students support and show their families that we're thinking of them.
I am told that the school resource officer is going to be talking with students who are student drivers about the safety of driving, especially when these cold conditions happen. They're also making a bunch of get well cards for the three students that are in the hospital. I'm in Magoffin County. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
And we're told all three students are alert and awake. They are not believed to have any life-threatening injuries. We'll have more on this coming up at 6. Lawmakers are working on the details of the bipartisan compromise bill that would fund more border security and avoid another government shutdown. President Trump is likely to sign the bill. The president wanted $5.7 billion for a border wall. The congressional compromise gives him about a quarter of it. Nearly $1.4 billion will go towards fencing 55 miles of it in the Rio Grande Valley. But the Trump administration says all options are still on the table, including declaring a national emergency.
The president's got a number of options. He's going to keep all those on the table. We'll make a determination of what is necessary based on what the final piece of legislation looks like.
Lawmakers are still working on the final text of the legislation. A first vote in the House could happen as early as tomorrow night. Tomorrow marks the one-year anniversary of the school shooting at the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. The shooting not only transformed that community, but also the country, giving way to a student-fueled movement dedicated to addressing gun violence. For Matt Deesh and Charlie Mursky, they have channeled their grief into a mission, the March for Our Lives. After the shooting, more than 1 million people around the country demonstrated to demand change. Deesh and Mursky say they are committed to a fight they say is just beginning.
There were 300 plus mass shootings last year, and we're talking about the anniversary of one of them. You could pick any day and it's an anniversary of mass shooting in America. And if that doesn't bother the people watching this, then they are not paying attention.
According to the Giffords Law Center, 26 states and the District of Columbia enacted 67 new gun control laws in 2018, which is triple the number from the previous year. A former American Idol contestant is now facing federal drug charges. Federal authorities say Antonella Barba tried to deliver nearly 2 pounds of fentanyl to Virginia last October as part of a drug ring. Barba was originally arrested in October on state charges, but those counts were dropped as she now faces federal drug and conspiracy charges. She's now in federal custody pending a detention hearing tomorrow. An attorney speaking on Barba's behalf said last year that she did not know drugs were in her rented vehicle. Barba was a top 16 finalist on the 6th season of American Idol back in 2007. Huge groups of civilians are escaping the last ISIS-held village in eastern Syria as the U.S.-led fight against the terror group intensifies. The video you see here is some of the last of the women and children leaving the last ISIS-held village in Syria. Some of these women and children are sons and daughters of ISIS members who have died or are still fighting, but they did not remain in the village by choice. ISIS fighters use them as human shields.
What does it mean to you to see the end of ISIS?
What is she?
They mean nothing to me. They're trash.
The 2,000 U.S. soldiers are an integral part of this fight. They are fighting on the front lines while also screening ISIS suspects who are trying to sneak out with the civilians. A warning for parents about boots that could choke their kids. Retailer Target issued a recall for boots that are shaped like unicorns and intended for toddlers. Sold under the brand name Cat and Jack, the horn on the shoes can come off and become a choking hazard. 4 customers have reported detached horns, but no injuries have been reported. Parents who bought the boots are advised to take them away from children immediately. All Target stores are offering full refunds for the boots. Head over to Wall Street now on this Wednesday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 117 points. The U.S. debt has hit a new record, topping $22 trillion for the first time. The data was released yesterday by the Treasury Department. The national debt has been rising at a faster clip since the 2008 financial crisis. That is when Congress and the Obama administration approved stimulus funding to prop up the economy. The debt began to level off at the beginning of President Trump's term, but it jumped again after his 2017 tax cuts took effect. Straight ahead on First at 4, one Kentucky senator is trying to loosen restrictions on federal lands. Hear how that may affect the Daniel Boone National Forest.
And mostly clear for tonight, but when does the next system move in? We'll have all your answers coming up.
Window World, the largest window replacement company in America, has zero down financing available with payments to fit your budget. All backed by the industry's strongest warranty, locally owned and operated. Window World, not only do we stand behind our windows, we stand on them.
Love is in the air, and Food City has everything